Hey, everybody, and welcome to Monday night's edition of Paranormal Question of the Day. We'll be right back right after the intro. And we are back. So, how is everybody doing today?
Good.
Good for a Monday.
Yeah.
We're going to make it a show on how can we make April squeak.
Oh, stop. I just want a baby. I just want a baby.
So, here's our Paranormal Question of the Day. It's you. It's April. April Richardson.
Yeah.
So, welcome to Paranormal Question of the Day. I'm glad to have you on. And I'm also happy to have Cynthia Derodius on as a surprise guest. Surprise!
Surprise! Even though I'm on quite frequently.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but the first time as partners here, teammates.
Right.
Touché.
So, and also, Taryn might be popping in depending on how her voice is. Her voice is kind of shot from being at the Gettysburg Battle Bash past weekend. So,
Not jealous at all.
No, none. What else?
Nope.
What else?
Yep.
So we could just dive into things a little bit here, and eventually people will come on in the chat. So, anyhow,
I can
and
see that.
here we go.
Suppose I should get this so I can see you.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to today's show. Anyhow, so April, who is April Richardson?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Wow.
What will you take?
God,
Penny?
I don't think we have enough time for that.
Oh, we're slated for quite a bit.
So I first really got into paranormal investigating about 3 years ago, I think it is. However, my interest began when I was much younger.
Okay.
My father is a funeral director.
Oh.
And I actually grew up living over the funeral home. Please insert your my girl comments here, director. I grew up living. So I grew up with death as a part of my life. And I loved how my family was able to comfort those who lost an individual.
Uh-huh.
But I also had questions because Dad would come home from the hospice home and he would say, oh yeah, so-and-so, she's getting ready to cross. But she was talking to someone who wasn't there.
Interesting.
On top of that, I played downstairs in the funeral home when we didn't have services. So I would practice my dance routines, my acrobatic routines, and, run around, whatever, just as a space to play. But there would be some times
thinking about it.
But there would be some times when I would feel like I need to go into a corner. I didn't want to be out in the open. I needed to have my back towards something solid. And that's just me reflecting as a child. So, right. It is to stand to reason that maybe there was another spirit there with me. I didn't see any apparitions, anything along those lines. But it was enough to make an impression.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I had to laugh at, my family was on a trip to San Diego back in December of 2019. And I literally forced my parents to go through the Whaley House. We went past it on a tour. And I said, oh my God, we have to go. Uh-huh. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm going to pay for your admission. We're going in there. You have nothing. It's done. And some of the clearest spiritist reactions I've ever had happen there. Surprise! One of the U.S.'s most haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
So we get back to the hotel, and my dad goes, "How did you actually get into this?" And both my mom and I looked at him like he was crazy. We're like, Dad, you're a funeral director. I've been surrounded by death my entire life. This is normal conversation. And so it was just, I don't know if it was an eye-opening experience for him, but, that's just kind of how I really kind of got into, hey, this is a thing. I don't know anything about it. And when I started watching the original Ghost Hunters back in 2005, 2004, whatever it was, I was like, oh my God, you can do this? You can maybe actually talk to people? You can learn things about history? And if anyone has ever met me, they know I am a history geek.
But that's what we need that, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We need that.
Uh-huh.
Because some of us, like I, are not very good at the history stuff.
Meanwhile, I can go into a place where they're like, oh, yes, this was part of the Underground Railroad. I'm like, yeah, it was built in 1868. It was not part of the Underground Railroad.
Shut down.
Yeah, just no. And that's part of the debunking process, right?
Right.
Yeah, doing that history, having that knowledge, building, just to me, speaking with those who want to speak to me, it's building a bridge to history.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me what you want me to know, because it's a learning experience for me.
Right. And I think that goes for everyone too. I mean, it's whether you're not into the history side of things, but still, it is a very good learning aspect of paranormal investigating. And you can feed off of that a lot. I mean, that's what helps us.
Absolutely. Well, and Cynthia can attest to this. Some of the silly side of my history, knowing provenance, is we were in the death row of the Missouri State Penitentiary.
Which I'm jealous.
Oh God, it's so great. So great. And there was a train going by right past the wall of the old Missouri State Pen.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden I started singing, hear a train a coming,
Folsom
coming round the bend.
Yep.
Little Folsom Prison Blues. And Cynthia goes, of course you'd be singing that. I'm like, this is the audience. What do you want?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what I loved from that experience down at death row at the Missouri State Pen, we weren't scared, but they were interested.
Well, I mean, it's
uncomfortable, but not scared.
Right. More curious, more interested,
Hey, Tom.
more, hey, tell us a little bit more about yourself, because you had a life just outside of your present status. Whatever put you at death row, you were still human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is very true. Very, very true. I mean, do you view like cemeteries like totally differently when you're with your dad being part of the a funeral and all that stuff, funeral home?
Gorgeous pieces of history. Gorgeous. Wonderful. And this is personal, but we just buried my grandmother this last weekend. Not this past weekend, but the weekend prior.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a cemetery I want to be buried at. I am married to a man that came from a different hometown than I did. And if he wants to be buried at his hometown, I understand that completely. But I would like to be buried at this particular cemetery, because I feel peace there. I feel home there.
Yeah. It's scenery too, I suppose, has lots to play with too.
Well, it has beautiful oak trees and really good drainage. So Those are
Drainage.
things to consider.
There you go.
Hmm.
Then the coffin won't float back up to the top.
Right.
Well, and not to mention for the fact my dad bought a pretty large lot of spaces. So if I can rest in peace with my family, then cool.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I just splatter me all over the place.
Well, one of my first plane rides, honestly enough, was to spread ashes over a farmer's field.
Really?
Yeah, how's that for a story?
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Why a farmer's field?
because it was the farmer.
Oh, it was him.
It was
okay.
the homestead.
Okay. That
So
makes
he
sense.
wants to be
then.
one with the land, right
He
there.
wants to be one with the land.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So that was one of the very first flights I was ever on.
Interesting.
My dad's just like, cremate me, put me in the ground, I'm good.
Yeah.
My dad was
oh.
like, if I see a ham sandwich within a half mile of my funeral luncheon, there's going to be problems. So I promised him in high school there would be barbecue.
That's
There
funny.
you
End of
go.
story. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
See, so Tom, he manages a garden and stuff. He has Tom's World on YouTube. Small little plug there for you. And so yeah, he deals with a bunch of garden stuff, and you know, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm giggling because, yeah, gardens. I watch way too much crime TV.
Facts.
So
Same.
Tom,
Mm.
have anything paranormal happen in your garden that you manage?
As long as nobody's buried any bodies there,
He
he should
probably
know.
doesn't want to talk about it if it's in his garden.
No, that's actually a
I mean, the
city's
cherry
garden.
lights might, show up here in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, the pretty red and blue lights.
Yeah.
Let's give him a few minutes to type if he's still in chat.
I watch way too much crime TV.
I don't watch hardly any at all.
Well, all I can say is I'm a daughter of a funeral director, and he has friends with the coroner. So, eh.
I have kinda. So he has kind of dealt with some of the paranormal stuff in his garden that he's got.
Oh yeah, tell us about it if you.
Yep.
That'd be really interesting.
Right there. So
Elf.
Tom's World, if y'all
Okay.
tune into that, you can talk about his garden and stuff.
Cool.
So
Okay.
Location wise, now you've been on lots of locations
Hmm.
and stuff, and sneak in here.
There you go, Darren.
Yep.
He's asking to come on.
Well, give me a few seconds here, and I'll get him on.
So anyway, you were saying about locations? So we don't have dead time and Darren disappears.
Darren
Wow.
disappears.
Nice.
Here I am completely like, I don't know technology. Whatevs. And bye, Darren.
Darren's good at that. So, okay, I'll ask his question.
Okay, ask me about location, Cynthia.
What's the creepiest location you found?
Randolph County Infirmary. Frickin' hands down.
Which we are going back to in
We
about
are going back to in just a few weeks.
couple weeks.
That building is alive. It is alive. I don't know how else to describe it.
I believe it.
I would honestly rather spend overnight by myself at the Missouri State Penn death row than at Randolph County Infirmary by myself.
Yeah, I don't think I
Just
could do
saying.
Randolph by myself.
No.
No.
I'd like
There
to
was-
try.
There is
Oh God.
way too much going on there.
There are so many layers.
Mm-hmm.
There, so many. And one of the things you'll learn about me if you investigate with me is all about intent.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know exactly what was brought to Randolph County. As an example, I think with Missouri State Pen, it speaks for itself as a location.
Mm-hmm.
Known as the bloodiest 47 acres in the United States when it was closed. Great. However, Randolph County.
Hey, Kim.
Hi, Kim. Randolph County is just next level.
Yeah.
Next level.
It's oh my God.
I would definitely like to get in there once. I mean, I've only seen it on TV and all that stuff. So, but it's like
it doesn't even compare.
And that's the
It
one that's got
doesn't.
the big attic, right? Or is that the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And it doesn't even compare to what you see on TV.
Yeah. I mean, you could see how big it is, but probably not even as close as what it actually is.
Size wise, from the outside, it does not look that big. But you get inside that place, oh my God.
Facts.
It's huge.
Wow.
And every single doorway, you have to look in because somebody's going to come at you.
Yep. You have to watch your back a lot.
Hi.
Here's Tom.
How's it going?
Tom.
How are you?
So if anyone doesn't know who Tom Nally is, he's Tom Nally. He's from BB3 TV.
How about this?
There you go.
Ooh, represent.
Huh? We were just doing a show just before yours, so like I had to have this shirt on. So you know.
Hey, Lori.
What's up, Lori? How you doing?
So she wanted to know about your garden and stuff as we were talking about.
I have had some experiences in there. There was a time I went into the garden when I was still a volunteer there before I became an employee, and it was raining. So I know there was like nobody in the park, and there was nobody even relatively near the garden. And I heard voices. Like I definitely heard voices. I heard a male voice. I heard a female voice. And the people that used to own the land were the Logans, Robert and Sarah Logan, which is why it was called Sorobia. So it was like partially Sarah, partially Robert, Sorobia, and they had their daughter Deborah, which the garden that still exists to this day was made for her. It was in an Alice in Wonderland theme kind of thing, and she wound up committing suicide in her her later life, I should say.
The daughter?
Yeah, she went out to California. Like they all had a place out in California, but they also had the place here in Philly, which was supposed to be their vacation home, but they made it their main home. And the daughter still lived out in California, and she married like a much older doctor who like kept her secluded from everybody, and that kind of messed with her mind. And then when the parents finally convinced her to divorce the guy, they brought her back to the house, and she got really close with her mom again. And then her mom wound up getting sick, and she passed away. Ooh. And the dad, he couldn't really handle her. Like there were multiple times that she was found out on the roof, like wanting to jump off and stuff like that. So they sent her to a mental hospital, which still exists to this day here in Philly, Friends Hospital. And she somehow wound up getting out of her room one night and hung herself in the basement with bed sheets. But once the old man passed away, he had nobody to leave the land to, so he left it to the state, and now it's a state park. And I came across this garden while I was making my YouTube videos, and I just knew, like right away, as soon as I walked in, I said I have to have something to do with restoring this place. So me and a bunch of other volunteers that are recruited over time, we dug out all the brick paths and everything, and there's a human chessboard there. They actually used to have their friends come to the house dressed like they would send them the costume in the mail, and they would come dressed as the different chess pieces.
Oh,
and
cool.
the servants would move it like a little chair and a little table that had their drink on it when they would be moved around and stuff like that. And they wound up coming across some Indian, and by Indian I mean like from India, some kind of like I don't know what he was. He was like a spiritual guy who was really well known at the time. He came to their place quite often, and they took on the beliefs of that religion or that belief system, and they got rid of all their servants and everything, and they brought in all these people that were like artists and had like a little commune going where they all took care of the farm and everything like that. Nobody had to pay anything as long as they took care of the farm. And it's like when you're there, you can feel it when you're in the garden. The rest of the park, not so much, but like I love the entire park. It's become my Zen place, mostly the garden, I would say. And me, the other volunteers, we like I said, we dug up all the paths. We put perennials in the raised bed garden, which used to be what's it called? I can't think of what it's called. It looks like a raised bed garden, but like the back of it is higher than the front, and there used to be like a little greenhouse on top of it, basically. They used to grow the back in the 80s. They used to grow the poinsettias for downtown, like the historic Philadelphia region. They would grow the poinsettias for down there, and they would have them all over the place. I mean, this place has such historical ties, like even to William Penn. He actually owned the land at one point. Pretty much anywhere in the Philadelphia area or the suburbs, if it's by the river, William Penn owned it at some point or another. He bought up all the land. And
that's so cool.
Oh my God, there is such history here. And just this past weekend, I was in Gettysburg, which, I mean, you want to talk about history. Oh my God.
Not jealous at all.
And there is nothing but corn growing everywhere in Gettysburg. We were driving through it. I'm like, when did we get to Iowa? What happened?
Iowa Hawkeyes represent right here.
See?
Just saying. Just saying.
I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, there's so much corn. There were some times where you couldn't even see the end of the corn growing. It was just like hills going like this over and over. And I was like, oh my God.
I've only been to Gettysburg once, and it was in was it high school or junior high? I can't remember.
Never been there.
But just walking around Gettysburg, you just feel.
Oh yeah. Once I got into the town,
you feel it.
Once I got into the town, I could see like the little hills and everything. I could actually see it in my head, like the little soldiers walking across with their muskets and everything, like in groups.
Seeing the little granite squares with just a number instead of a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
it's very
a surreal
powerful.
Experience, really. And
very
I'm going to go
powerful.
back there in the fall time, and I'm going to make videos for my YouTube channel, which I did put the link in.
Yep.
Because I got to whore myself out. But,
Shameless plug.
But
well, maybe on your guys' way back from Hinsdale, you could stop in at Gettysburg.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I think we're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
I'm not looking at maps, so I.
Because from Hinsdale, we're going back to Randolph. But
Yeah.
if we did
I
Gettysburg,
see.
we'd have to go to Hinsdale, down to Gettysburg, then back to Randolph. If I'm thinking of the map correctly.
Like I so wanted to go to the battlefield when we were there. It didn't happen because Dustin was there. Dustin, the guy that does Off the Cuff on BB3 TV. And he had something personal going on that day, and he had a meeting and everything. And so it just didn't happen. But like, I so wanted to go there and make a video of that place too, because there's so much history there. I mean, and Dustin knows every ounce of it.
Well,
I mean, it would have been a great video, but we'll do it in the fall.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
But like, but in the garden, like I said, I did hear voices when I was in there. It was a rainy day. I was in there. I'm dropping shit. It was a rainy day. Nobody else was in the park. and I'm standing in the garden by myself, and I swear to God, I heard different voices, and I went walking around. There's nobody. There's no cars parked in there, anything. And there's been times where I did live feeds there where I swear to God I heard my name. And even the co-owner of BB3, he said, "Dude, I heard somebody say Tom." I said, "I heard it too." But I don't know where it came from. I can't tell because like the sound just like reverberates off of everywhere there.
Awesome.
It's crazy.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We enjoyed hearing about your garden and what you had, your paranormal
awesome,
experience.
Man.
So
Super cool.
And you
That's
can always
awesome.
check out the garden because I documented every step of the way while me and the other volunteers were redoing this garden. So, as like the link says that I put up when I hoard myself out, it's youtube.com/This Is Tom's World. You can go there and check it out. I have other videos too where I do like historical things. And this past weekend I did the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. So that's up there as well. So you can check that out.
Nice.
Nice.
absolutely. With now we talked about the scariest, creepiest, right, Cynthia?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
what is your favorite location that you have investigated up to this point?
Are we back to me?
Yes, we're
Yes.
back to you.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. All right. I didn't want to jump on anybody. Ooh, favorite. Ooh.
All of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, probably one of the most profound experiences I've had was at the Mason House Inn in Bettonsport, Iowa.
Hey, Carmen.
I love this place. I love this place.
I'm
So
everywhere, Carmen.
It
met
was
her this week.
opened 2 months prior before Iowa became a proclaimed state and has been
Wow.
opened ever since. One of the spirits there is a cat named Josephine. Now, last summer, I was staying there. I was laying in bed, just kind of missing my dog because I sleep with my dog. And all of a sudden, I felt feline paws jump up on the bed, walk up my side because I was laying on my side, come down and circle around to kind of like curl up with me.
Like when they do that thing where they're just trying to
Yes.
fluff the thing up. Yeah.
I didn't
Yep.
see her, but I felt her the entire thing. And so the next morning I went downstairs and said, "Hey, Josephine visited me last night." And
they said, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay."
it was like, as persnickety as cats are in real life, to be chosen by a ghost cat, to me, is extra special. I don't know if she knew I was missing my dog or what was happening, but Josephine decided to crawl up into bed with me.
Aw.
Now ghost dogs, that's different.
Oh, for sure. I'd totally welcome a ghost dog. No
They're
problem.
like clumsy as hell compared to the cats.
Right, exactly, which is why I knew it was a cat, because it was a very dainty, the feline leap up, as opposed to my dog, who is, while he's only 12 pounds, he's not exactly graceful, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he's
Oh.
outside the door, and he's like, "Oh, you're talking about me. I need to be in there."
Is it a beagle?
No, he's a Shorkie.
Oh.
A
What's a
Shih Tzu
Shorkie?
Yorkie. Yeah, he's very fluffy and spoiled.
What is
Yeah.
a Shorkie? What's that mix?
Shih Tzu Yorkie.
Oh wow! So it's a tiny dog.
It looks kind of something like this.
Yes.
Oh wow!
Look at the fluff. Look at the fluff. Yes. So
I think beagles are better.
Hey, Patricia.
it was one of those experiences that, even though the night prior I'd been in the same room and I woke
Mama
up,
Two Books is here too.
I woke up to
think so. I
turn
didn't see her
over.
pop in.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there she is.
You know how you like kind of wake up to turn over?
Yeah.
And there's a shadow man standing at the end of my bed, and I'm like, "Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
God.
too tired for you. Good night." And just
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
I'm like,
You're done.
you do you, buddy. You do you, buddy. I'm too tired for this. So yeah, that's Mason Housen.
Never had the Shadow Man.
Yeah, Shadow.
At the end
Oh
of
my
my bed.
gosh. No, and like one of the investigations I'd been on prior to that, I was staying in the same room. A friend and I were looking down the hall. The light was on in the room, but the door was closed, and there was no one in that room. And all of a sudden, there were shadow feet on the inside of the door.
Shadow feet.
Oh, yeah, like
Someone was
weird.
walking around on the inside of the room.
Because
Right.
you usually see it from like the knees up, but you saw the feet.
Right. So, like
That's
with Mason
unusual.
Housen, it was opened in 1846, so there's nothing square, plumb, or level.
Nope.
And so there's like an inch to a half inch.
So it was a
slope
ghost with a
underneath
foot
this
fetish.
door. So yeah, we saw a ghost, like shadow feet.
And something like that.
I was just like,
There's a
"Who's in
foot
my
fetish
room?"
ghost. He's like, here, look at my feet.
It's like, hey, yo, I'm here. And then later that night, I saw the dude standing at me in bed. I'm like, you know what? I'm just
Hey,
goodbye.
quiet.
You're done.
Yeah. No disrespect. They know me. I've been touched. It's fine.
Whoa.
They know me, but I was just like, not tonight, buddy. Not tonight.
That's interesting. Cynthia, you ever have that happen to you?
No. When we were at the Mason House Inn, we stayed in room 8, which was, I want to say, at one time, like one of the rooms that the matron of the house really took a liking to, and we had experiences like I was coming out of the bathroom and I went to open the door and the handle turned on me and the door opened for me. And
Welcome.
yeah, and I was laying in bed trying to get some sleep, and Roland was out in the hallway trying to debunk an orb that he thought he filmed, but he figured out it was a lens flare. And the door to our room, he heard the handle click and the door opened. But of course, he had the camera facing down the wrong way of the hallway.
That's right.
Of course.
And so, of course, he doesn't get it on film, but he spends the next half an hour opening and closing and slamming the door, trying to get it to do it again while I'm trying to sleep.
Yes.
And then the following morning, I had gotten up to go outside and have a cigarette. I come in, he's on the floor with the recorder going, okay, fine, I'm up. What do you want? And I'm like, what happened? And he said, I literally got kicked out of bed. He felt like somebody had took a foot to his side and kicked him out of bed.
Well, if any of you know Kenny Biddle at all, Kenny Biddle is he's local to my area, like around Philly. He is like a paranormal skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
He has tons of videos on why orbs are not real.
Oh yeah. Now, Roland found out quickly that this one was a lens flare. He was very disappointed, but he figured out why it showed up and what had happened to make it show up. And so as he was debunking that is when the door did its thing. And then he decided to try and debunk the door for a friggin' half an hour while I was trying to sleep.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna tag him in this so he comes.
I mean, and that is truly Mason House.
Oh yeah. Oh
truly Mason House. That place is wow.
Yep. Yep, I mean, it is.
It's crowded. Let's just say it's crowded.
Yeah. For a very small bed and breakfast that only has what, 10 rooms?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very crowded. So
I tagged him. He's gonna come in. He's gonna tell you all about how orbs are not real.
No.
And they're just different phases of like the different cameras and like
No, I've had friends
Like
ask me about photos they've captured, and I say, I think it's a lens
he's
flare.
probably the only outed skeptic that like all the paranormal people love.
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, he was at this event that I was at this past weekend in Gettysburg, and people love him. They come to his table in droves, and they just talk to him, and they'll be on his lives and stuff. And then somebody made an announcement because there was a dunk tank outside. Somebody came in at one point and said, Kenny Biddle will be in the dunk tank at blah 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 and this amount of time. Like, everybody just went rushing out there just to get him in the dunk tank. He comes back in soaking wet because people are just dunking him time after time. He looks at me like he's looking this way. And he goes, and he just runs at me and gives me like this biggest hug. I'm like, no, what are you doing? You're all wet. What are you?
Well, that's what you get.
Yep. Well, he loves me. You know,
Yeah.
everybody loves me. I'm awesome. I'm just.
So now, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I've got to duck out of here. I got to work in the morning, so.
Oh, me too. I gotta be up
Alrighty,
in,
Cynthia, thank you for joining us tonight.
You are welcome.
Thanks,
I will
Cynthia.
see you later.
See you later.
Bye.
You have to be up in 8 hours.
All right, Darren, what next question you got?
All right, next question
Yeah.
we have is, so what is your paranormal gear of choice?
Ooh. So right now, if anyone has followed any of the lives that I've been on, it's been the tripwire. I
Touche.
freaking
I like that.
love that thing.
I don't own one, but I like it.
So one of the greatest. So I've only had it since I think it was April that I got it. Right after it arrived, I was at the old Oskaloosa Hospital with Cynthia and Taylor, Raven Rose. Which, fun fact, my mother was actually born at that hospital.
Oh,
So I took her baby picture with me as almost kind of like a trigger object,
right?
which was phenomenal.
Did it work?
Well, this was only the second time the place had been investigated. So everything was very new. We were up on
Trying
the
to
third
get her there,
floor.
Lori.
Yeah, we were up on the third floor. We were having the light cat balls, toys, things. We were having all of those go off different times.
Cat balls.
Yeah. I mean, the cat ball. They're so simple. If anyone wants to get some very inexpensive, quote unquote, paranormal equipment, get yourself the lighted cat ball toys from Amazon. They're like $15.
Actually, that's one of the things that Kenny Biddle has done videos on. That there is no dissimilarity between the expensive ones that you get that do the same thing and the cat balls. They are the exact same thing. They're from the exact same manufacturer, actually.
Correct. Correct.
It's just it's more expensive if you get the ones that are labeled for paranormal versus.
That's the thing. Just because they're paranormal, you're going to pay X amount more. Don't do that because they're the same thing.
I buy 3 for $10 on Amazon, and one out of the 2 out of the 3 only work.
And the Xbox Connect thing.
The SLS.
Don't even bother with it.
Well, and that's one of the things that is such a misnomer, I think, about paranormal investigating is you have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get all of this equipment
you don't.
to investigate. You don't.
I learned that this weekend. I talked to so many different people when I was there. It's ridiculous what you can actually get.
I just don't see in the stick figures. Sorry.
No,
yeah, just use yourself. You're the best piece of equipment. Use your instincts.
Kenny Biddle says, and I hate to keep bringing him up, even though I tagged him in this. He says like the best tools that you can have is a paper and a pen.
Yeah. What are you hearing? What are you experiencing? What are you feeling? Have a flashlight just so you don't bonk your head into something.
And
I mean, that can even be on your phone. You don't have to buy a flashlight.
Where the flashlight like turns off and on. That's a bunch of bull crap anyway, because it's all based on heat from the thing. Like when it heats up, the coils in it expand and so like he does a whole scientific like investigation into it.
Yeah,
and let you know.
Think as paranormal investigators, our first true response should be to debunk anything.
Yes.
Whether
I'd
it's
like
a
to use the
temperature
button.
change, whether it's a wind gust, whatever
like the
it
ghost
happens
hunters.
to be.
Don't be like the ghost adventurers. Be like the ghost hunters.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are Zach Bagans.
Oh
Nope.
my God! Don't be Zach Baggins.
No.
Don't.
No.
Oh my God! I feel possessed, and I'm all good.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Everything's a demon. No.
Yeah, no.
No.
Here,
no,
let me send
no.
my bald friend into the other room so he can get scared and run out, and we get ratings.
Oh yeah, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for that guy.
My favorite thing when I
does it
bring
on
newbies on any investigation is to be like, hey, so you've all watched the shows, right? And they're like, yeah. This is not that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
You're going to be sitting in the dark for hours with nothing happening.
Right. Sometimes you just get nothing.
Yeah.
That's
We
just
don't
how it
have
is.
magic editing here.
It all
We
depends.
don't
on
have
them.
production.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have
And
sound effects.
They don't follow any script.
No. No. These were people.
Yep. They
These
just
were
like to mess
people.
with me.
They're
constantly.
still people.
Like make me drop things constantly, and they mess with me constantly. I know they do.
See, when it comes to the flashlight, I like them to do the logical press the button. They have to press the button. If they
Well,
can
but even
have enough
with
energy
that,
to press the button, then they can do
even
something.
with that, it's all based on the heat levels. With that, you know what I mean? Like you just have to watch Kenny Biddle's video. I'll send you the link to his channel, and you can watch all his videos. He debunks like everything, anything.
He's the world debunker.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So
He and
one
I
of the
some-
best,
He's cool as hell. I mean, you can hang out with him and drink beer and stuff like that, and he's awesome. But yeah,
I think sometimes him and I bump heads a little.
well, I think anybody in the paranormal world does.
So I just got these ESP
Ooh.
cards.
Okay.
Star.
I want to test and see if
Or are you going to give me $5 if we get this, or do I have to spit up my gum if I get an electric shock?
Wait, wavy lines.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm just asking.
All right. What do you see?
Star. Oh,
Circle.
Ding 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 ding.
oh wow, I don't got it.
Okay. Next one.
Wavy lines.
Square.
No.
Ding ding ding.
Wow.
This is not planned, by the way.
Okay.
I didn't know he was going to do this.
Next one.
Star.
Eh.
No, I suck at this.
Wavy lines.
Ding ding ding.
I was gonna say that first, but I just said that. I'm not gonna
Okay,
say
we're
that.
going to stop there because April's 100%.
Okay.
April.
Next one.
Oh, hell.
I'll let you go first.
You're going to let me go first. Great. Of course you are.
Yeah, because you've been right every time. I'm not.
Square.
Ding. No. Sorry. I have to... Go ahead. What you got, Tom?
Circle.
Ding ding ding. Wrong.
No, it's not. It's a
Oh, I
plus.
didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, okay.
I didn't
alright.
either.
Okay. Next one. Last one.
Circle.
Eh.
Wavy lines.
Eh.
I was gonna say star.
That's
you
what you
have
get
just
for
been
making
playing
us
the
like,
ESP
second guess
game,
ourselves,
folks.
Darren.
I second guessed myself is what happened.
Yes. Yes. Darren.
Damn.
I had to try it. I had to try
Hey,
it.
I got the first three. I'm
You
just
Listen,
saying.
did,
I am
did
not
pretty
11.
damn good.
I am not 11 from Stranger Things. It just doesn't happen.
I will at least get my $5. So
See?
Yep, no shocks. He'll get the shocks.
I'll get nothing.
No shocks.
Heart.
Listen, I am becoming Vecna, is what's happening.
Oh man, I'll have to add this to the show and see what people say and see how they do. I think it's a good trait. But no, I actually got these for paranormal investigations.
No,
So-
that's awesome.
I wanted to try, how we all look at writing names on cards and see if they can see what the name is and say it out loud, or play the Etch-a-Sketch type deal. I thought, well, shit, let's try that once. At least you won't get
Etch-a-Sketch?
shocked.
Hey,
Maybe you will get shocked. Who knows?
you have to be really skilled to do good drawings at the Etch-a-Sketch. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I you know what? I think Kim, if she's still in chat, I think she got something in the Etch-a-Sketch type deal.
She did. She did. I can't remember exactly what it was. I hope she's still in chat.
Yeah, because it was actually pretty cool what she got, and she's got the big ones. I got the small one. I want to get the big one too.
She got the big one.
No, you're hard.
Gutter bug there.
Sorry. Listen,
So-
it's late at night. I've been drinking. Stuff happens. What are you going to do?
So, what is your bucket list there for April? Sorry.
Oh, God. There's too many.
I know
There's
what
too
mine
many.
is now.
The Pensacola Lighthouse. I really want to go over to Europe. Penhurst.
That's not
I'd
far from
love
me.
to spend time for Penhurst.
I live in Philly. It's not.
There you
it's
go.
Not real
Yeah.
far.
There you go. There's your outlet right there.
Fantastic. Trans-Allegheny. Oh my God, there's too many.
You should
Mine
do
is
that.
Gettysburg at this point. I got to
Mhm.
get back there.
I
gotta
would
get
like
the
to go back
battlefield.
to Gettysburg.
I would love to get to the battlefield. I need Dustin Heisey to be there with me so that he can guide me through it. This dude knows the entire, he has a book he'll bring out and he'll show you old pictures. He'll be like, here's this rock. You see that rock? And this happened here and blah, blah, blah. I would love that. It would be awesome. It would make an awesome video. And I wouldn't have to do any of the narration. He could do all of it.
Yeah, it's super funny because I have a U.S. history minor, and so I am just a junkie for history. My poor husband
I've become
took me to Boston.
Yeah.
And had to deal with, I'm standing on Bunker Hill. And he's like, yeah, cool. I'm like, no, I'm standing on Bunker Hill. And he's like,
Right.
yeah, okay, cool. I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, we need to go before people put you in a straitjacket. I was like, you don't get it. You don't get it. So anything history-wise, I just, so crazy for. So crazy for.
I've become that way as time's going on. I didn't
Yeah.
care about history until I started delving into it in my local area here,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't get enough of it. It's crazy. It's like I love passing this information on and having it on YouTube for people to see for generations. I mean, we don't know how long YouTube's going to be around, but as long as it's around for the next 10, 20 years, then I'm good.
Yeah.
So you see the comment here that Kim's got. She got a big E, or she got an E and a T.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
on
takes
the
a lot of
Etch-a-Sketch.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
ET is actually a Jedi when you think about it, because they had listen. You think about this. You go back to the newer Star Wars movies, and they had a bunch of ETs floating around in the thing for Star Wars and the Jedis and
Kama.
stuff like that. So ET could actually lift bikes and stuff like that. So he must be a Jedi. When you think about it.
Eh.
I'm just saying. Look, you got to look deep into it.
I don't tend not to look that deep.
That's what
I
she
think
said.
I'm busy with other things, but that's fine.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying.
Nothing against your theory. Nothing against your theory.
like they had ETs in the Senate of Jedis at one point in the later movies, right? And then when you go back and you look at ET, like Elliot was playing with Star Wars figures, which is kind of weird because ET actually knew Yoda. And then in the movie for ET, he spotted somebody dressed as Yoda and he went up to him with his arms out like he recognized him. Therefore, ET must be a Jedi.
Okay, sweetie, I think you've gone down a rabbit hole. Neither Darren or I have gone down, but that's cool.
I have so many rabbit holes I go down on a daily basis. You have no idea. This mind is.
He said it here first, folks.
Hey, you're talking to a guy that we got him to talk to his own chair.
Hey, look. Hey, how you doing? Look.
He said, "Fuck this chair."
Get this fucking thing out of here. Wait, it's not out of the frame enough. Wait. There
So,
it is. No,
so April, what is your advice to new paranormal investigators into the field?
Obi-Wan Tom Obi.
Keep your eyes and ears open. Do your research. Understand that not everything's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's scary right there, right now. Not just kidding.
I've been invited to places where people are like, "Oh, this place is haunted." Well, why do you say that? Well, it's old. Well, that's not exactly how this works. But come to find out, there's something there. But maybe they're just not ready to talk. Maybe you have to work on that relationship just like you would a human being.
Right.
So my advice is spirit is human.
Mm-hmm.
If they were sweet on this side, they're probably going to be sweet on the other side. If they were kind of an a-hole and like cranky old Uncle Tom, whatever, maybe they're not going to be so great on the other side either. So I just, don't be scared. Not everything's a demon.
Right.
A-whore.
Yeah, but be open for conversation.
Should you go in a place full of fear?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Should you, when you go into a location, should you go in like with fear right away?
No, I go in with friendly intent.
Right.
I have been called a friend a couple of times on different locations that I've been to multiple times. Hi, my name is April. I don't know if you remember me. And what comes back through the spirit box is friend. And to me, there's no greater compliment than that. Because you want to talk to a friend. You want to build that relationship. Right. If you're going to go in acting like an asshole and being all, I demand you tell me, bleh, I mean, careful what you wish for.
Right.
I don't want somebody coming up in my house acting like that.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
So you want to get, shoved on your butt? Guess what? You're going to get shoved on your
That's
butt.
also what she said.
Sorry,
I saw an opportunity.
Yeah, no, I respect that.
I got called a jerk.
That's what she said.
Yeah, they were at it was the paranormal exposures were at this one location, and the ITC box was on, and one of the ladies, her name is Patty. She was kind of doing like an Estes type deal, I believe it was, man. And she turned around and said my name, and then next thing you know, jerk. I'm like, that's also wow. Okay, what did I do?
You know what? I got to duck out.
Maybe she didn't like your shirt that day. Who knows?
I got to duck out. I have to go talk to Chaos for a little bit.
All right.
We have a little discussion to go on about the BB3 haunts, which you may have seen the emblem go up earlier on BB3 TV, Darren. I'm not sure if you did.
Not yet. I haven't.
No. It's up there. It's the same logo as BB3 TV, only instead of the baby bird in the middle, it's got like a scary face.
Oh, that's
and we're making stuff happen, man. BB3 is growing.
Very good. Very nice.
And I'm glad you are a part of it. I am proud that you're a part of it. actually.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll let you guys talk. I'm going to be back. I'm going to go down and grab another beer so I can talk to him. And
Sounds good.
thank you for having me on.
No problem, Tom.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right, see ya.
Take it easy. All right. So, let's see here. I got a little bit more questions and we're about done. So, yep. Great stuff on BB3. And, yep. So, once I get to this, I going back and forth between my camera to read the comments.
No problem. Technology,
you know how that
I
goes.
Tell ya. Woo!
So, what is coming up next for April Richardson?
Myself and Cynthia, who was on a little bit earlier.
Right. But you are now part of Raven Rose Paranormal.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to get that in sooner while she was still on, but we kind of went off record there. So I apologize, Cynthia.
That's okay. No, I was very happy to be asked. No, I've had a lot of wonderful investigations, a lot of different teams, and I hope to continue to do that. But I'm very proud to be a member of Raven Rose now.
Yeah, she's happy to have you, and as like we were talking about before a while ago. I'm like, so do you ever think about adding anybody to Raven Rose? And she's like, yeah, I have. I says, well, I think April would be a perfect one to grab. She's like, yes, absolutely. She's the first one I'm asking. So.
Oh, thanks, Darren.
So, I mean, it's like, I'm like, hey, she goes up to now as it is.
Yeah, right.
So why not? Why not? You guys do well together, and I think you guys mesh well together, and so I think it was just appropriate. So.
Yeah, agreed.
So anyhow, what's next for you coming up? Investigations, events, or?
So actually, a big trip's coming up in a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks. Cynthia and I are headed out east. We're gonna do a double overnight at Hinsdale House in Western New York.
Jealous.
Cannot wait.
I'm jealous.
The night before that, we're actually gonna be at Niagara, so we're gonna see what energy is there at Niagara because
cool.
I mean, seriously, Niagara Falls.
Right. Can't beat that.
Right.
Get soaked and watch the falls.
And all the people who committed suicide and all this on the other thing. But then on the way back, we've got an overnight scheduled for Randolph County Infirmary.
I'll be waiting for a live on that one.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I'll be late. So, you know me. I'll be on all the lives anyways. You know I am.
Right. As you should be. You should be. Because as far as I know right now, it's just going to be me and Cynthia for the 2 overnights at Hinsdale. So it's just going to be the 2 of us in that house on that land.
It's going to be interesting.
Oh my gosh.
One in the house, one in the land. I was kind of curious how that would work out.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what the experience is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But Randolph County is next level. For anyone who's lucky enough to experience Randolph County, go in there with an open mind and with your walls up.
I had a dream about that place. And I've never been there.
Yeah.
But I had a dream about that place. Like I was going up a set of stairs. And I think I was running from something, but I ended up going up to the attic.
Yeah, very well could be. Yeah.
So.
You know, you've been to Edinburgh. You've been to other poor farms. I'm sure with a lot of people who are in chat right now too.
I wish I was
Randolph County. Yes, there was tragedy there. Yes, there were fires. Yes, there were painful deaths. But again, to me, it all comes back with intent. And I think some of the people who have investigated there may have left their intent there, which has possibly brought something else in.
Yeah, Edinburgh, yeah. Yeah, because they got the Joker that's in the basement. We all know about that. Mm-hmm. And now they have since said that he is kind of back down and kind of like he doesn't really exist right now because this other darker energy has taken everything else over. So, yeah, I want to get there.
But that's also to be, again, with the intent. Yeah. So, I mean, I know with what they call Joker, we don't know his name. He won't give it.
Right.
It's just a spirit who likes to pull hair, and he's
All you want.
yeah, well, yeah.
Well, maybe this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like when my hair's up in a ponytail and I've got a hoodie on and whatever. Yeah. Uh, but I do know that one of the first times that I had friends there, they were down in the basement, and a shadow figure was essentially playing with a very big, tall man. And
Nice.
that was on my investigation team.
Right.
And he was kind of freaking out about it. And I was like, well, dude, that's the Joker. That's Joker. And he's like, yeah, but I'm like, no, you're giving him exactly what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So no, that's Joker. Man, you met him. And he's like, you're not scared. Nope.
Well, with this new one, this new spirit gets really downright nasty.
And I've not experienced that, so that's new to me.
Yeah, from what all the stuff that with Kat Armstrong from Paranormal Exposures, with Will and her husband, he gets downright sexual.
Really? Oh, is this part of what happened in one of the other rooms, or is this somebody else?
No, this is in the basement.
Oh, okay.
So this is where the Dark One resides, is in the basement. And he gets downright pretty sexual with people sometimes. Touches people inappropriately.
Yeah, and I've not experienced that. I'm not saying it's not a thing. It just
It could be certain people that he picks on.
Right.
And I'm like, at some point during their live, and you know me, how I like to joke around a lot on the live. And I was like, all honesty, next time you go, take a box of condoms and see what happens.
See, now that's a financial investment. I'm just saying.
But
how big are we talking? So,
we'll go teeny weeny condoms. Nice. The big spirit, make him feel small.
Maybe he's compensating for something. Who knows?
Right. But the thing is like, in all honesty, I think that would be an because they're saying it's what kind of spirit he is becoming. So why not go down with extra protection and see what comes out of it?
Some holy water.
Yeah.
Some sage, Palo Santo.
Yeah.
Condoms,
I mean,
whatevs.
I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, it's a trigger object,
That's true.
That's all I'll be using it for, is a trigger object, obviously. But I mean, it's just, it's corny. I know it sounds really corny, but what happens? What if you get an EVP out of it? It's like, hey, I got a box of condoms here. What are you going to do with them?
The only thing I would caution as once you start down that path, where are you going to leave?
Right. The residual part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe just go down there with the guys for now and test it out and see what happens.
And be like, dude, what's up? Like, what's up? Like, do you got a problem? Do you just need, a DVD playing to compensate whatevs? Or, yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a thought. I mean, no, I'm not saying everybody, just immediately just go to the store and buy a box of condoms and go down there.
No. I guess my message is just that anytime somebody investigates a place, you leave your intent there.
Right.
At least how I believe. I'm not saying that is 100% fact.
Yeah.
But I would think that if you go in time and time again being told that something's evil and demonic, over time, if it wasn't, maybe it starts to become acting that way.
Right. And then you're going to go down a rabbit hole with
absolutely.
Other things,
and I don't
it might be a
intend to
hindrance.
do that.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't intend to do that, but it's just...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to
be careful.
Right.
Spirits are not performers. They are not actors. They are not circus freaks. They are not there to perform on cue.
Right.
And kind of going back to our good friends, the Ghost Adventure crew,
Mm-hmm.
If you go in there ranting and raving and saying, I demand you show me something, and then you get thrown on your butt or scratched across your
Or
back, and
throw
you're like,
your best investigator at him.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, let him take the
sorry,
brunt of it. Yeah,
Aaron.
I
I
don't
know you
think
get
so.
thrown down to the basement all the time, but
I actually
careful
want
what
to
you
see
wish
if he
for.
stands up to one of these times and says, "No,
I
I'm not
would
doing it."
love Aaron to tell Zach, no, you go.
I'd like to see his own show once. I think that'd be a good
There
show.
you go. There you go.
Vice versa, throw Zach down there.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I had somebody ask me one time, and they're like, "Oh, are you ever going to go to the Haunted Museum out in Las Vegas?" I'm like, if I come across Zach Bagans, I'm going to be like, first of all,
Which
I
hand
gotta
are you going to
promise
use
you.
first?
Yeah. First of all. Yeah. So just again, yeah. No. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, I think definitely when you guys get a chance, I would love to have you guys come up to the Washera County Historical Museum. I think you guys will have a ball of a time there. And as I said, ball of a time. Yeah, few spirits
Yeah, you
up
did.
there in the jail. I mean, Ed Gein was there, housed there for 4 days. So his energy is there. His mom's energy is there, Augusta. It's just a phenomenal place. I mean, I couldn't see why no one would want to go in there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that'd be cool.
It's just a lot of history. And talk about history right there. A lot of history. So,
I'm always down for new spots. Always.
And I might have another spot up in Manitowoc. I just found out about the biggest mansion and the oldest mansion in Manitowoc that is open for paranormal investigations.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'll send you a link to that one after we're off the air. So,
Yes, please.
So I'll call tomorrow to find out what they're charging. So, you never know. Might be not a lot of money. So,
One can hope. One can hope.
right. Like go to the Sheboygan Asylum and have to spend frickin' $2,400 for 12 hours.
Yeah, and $1,500 for a Missouri State Pen, and yeah.
Yeah. So, with tonight's episode and everything that we have talked about, what is the message that you want to leave with the viewers that they can get out of today's episode?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Start with that. If things don't improve, if you're having a personal experience that is more negative than that, yeah, you can be scared. It's very easy to go down the scared route.
Mm-hmm.
But pull yourself back and think that spirit is human first.
Right. And intent as well.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And you speak heavily about intent, which is very important. Because that can make or break a location.
I go in with peace. I go in with curiosity. If you're going to share with me, that's a gift.
Right.
You don't have to. But if you decide to me, that's amazing.
Right. And I always say, you go to a location first and learn the history. You sit there and just let the location just suck you in a little bit, so to speak. And, just see what it's got.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you never know what you might come across. Be one of those locations that you might get a full body apparition from, or you never will see it again.
Correct.
So, yeah, I truly agree with your message, and hopefully people take that to heart and use it in their everyday paranormal investigating wise. So, well, this has been a fantastic interview. Like I said, I love interviewing people and showcasing people that don't normally get to get on the Facebook and do a show every once in a while. So definitely like to have you back and do some other topics if you like to do that. And
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
oh yes, absolutely. It's like I said, it's a lot of fun. So with that, you have been watching the BB3 Network and the Paranormal Bureau. Also, if you don't have Facebook and want to watch the show as well, please check us out on the MGS Paranormal YouTube channel, where you can catch the show at the same time as this is on Facebook. So you're not missing out of anything. And there we go. And so with that, she's April. I'm
Hi.
Darren. And you have been paranormalized. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
I still see a fleshy. I still see a fleshy.
I come up with the cheesiest ending lines anyways. But sometimes I just lose touch and I'm tired and that's how it all goes.
Facts. I hear you. It's been a Monday.
So, everyone, thank you for joining us. I bid you adieu, and I'll see you Friday. So long, everybody.